And not to end up like this. During your trip to Europe, let's talk about major 15 mistakes every tourist tends to make when they're coming to Rome, and especially to Italy for the first time. Hi guys, I'm Anna. I spent more than 8 years partially living in Rome, and if you're planning your trip to Rome and want it to become the most unforgettable trip in your life, please check out my travel to Rome guide. Everything you need to know all in one place. Mistake number 1, and it sounds so obvious, but guys, I really want to put this thing into your suitcase, the second thing after your passport, your adapter. I want you to be aware that in different countries of the same European territory, you will find slightly different plugs, especially if we are talking about European plug and the UK. If you're planning to visit Italy and the UK at the same time, make sure that you have the right adapter, which is covering all territories across the world. I've seen it so many times at the airport when my American friends arriving to Europe and their phone has only 3% charger and they need to charge their devices immediately, and all of a sudden they find out that the charger is completely different here in Europe. Our point number 2, and mind your shoes guys, this is extremely important. This is exactly what you have all the time when you're traveling around Italy, and especially in Rome. It's called San Petrini, this very interesting surface, and those cobblestones, they are not equal. Apologies. They're not equal, they have huge gaps between them, and for the best result, for the best experience of your travel, I highly recommend you having the most comfortable walking shoes like trainers. Now let's discuss things like sandals and flip-flops. First of all, don't wear your sandals with socks. This is like such a cringe. This is not stylish at all, and actually you can be even denied the entrance to the restaurant or to the church if you dress this not really appropriate way. Why I personally don't recommend you wearing flip-flops or sandals? Did you see the crowds in Rome? It's insane guys. And if somebody by accident step on your feet and your toes are not protected, well, in some cases it can spoil your trip entirely. How that Italian coffee works everywhere in Italy. First of all, you need to go to the place which is called bar. It's not coffee shop, it's called un bar in Italian. So first of all, when you come to un bar, you need to go to a cushion point and ask if you want one cappuccino or caffè. By the way, you don't need to ask for espresso in Italy. Un caffè is espresso by default, and please, no espresso guys. Espresso is like, it's the train maybe. Just don't expect to order your coffee first and pay after. In Italy, you usually pay for your coffee, getting your receipt, going to the bartender or the barista, and after that you're getting your coffee. If you want to do it very Italian, most traditional way, you are having that coffee at the bar, not sitting at the table. First of all Italians, and you will see this trend in Italy, all across Italy and in Rome, that they will have their coffee standing at the bar, not sitting at the table. Just to let you know, if you decide to have your coffee at the table, you will pay an additional price for the services, for the coffee to be served at the table. And usually this price difference can be quite sensitive. Coffee at the bar, espresso, will cost you about €1. If you take the same coffee to the table, it might cost you up to €2. How gelato in Rome in Italy works then? It works exactly the same way as coffee in Italy. The tradition here is you're going to the place, to cashier point first, you're paying for your gelato, naming the exact number of scoops you want, then you're going to the actual counter, picking your gelato, and voila, you're welcome to enjoy the best gelato in the world you can possibly have. But where is your breakfast in Rome? Let me tell you something. Traditional breakfast here in Rome would be one cup of coffee and a pastry, like local cornetto or any other type of local pastry. And that's it. No fried eggs, no bacon, no hash browns. And exactly the same applies to having your dinner in Italy. If you want to feel like Roman, have that late but authentic, traditional, delicious, perfectly priced dinner in traditional Italian trattoria or any Italian traditional restaurant. don't expect it to be earlier than 8 p.m. And how not to end up in a touristic place, in a tourist trap here in Rome? Well, first of all, you can check my travel to Rome guide, and also you can just go to Trastevere. It's area of Rome about 15 minutes walk from city center, and have your dinner there. It's almost not possible to find any touristy place. All the restaurants will be local, authentic, very traditional. But keep this in mind that your Italian dinner will start much later than it used to probably in your country. Your sun cream is absolutely essential here in Rome. From my own experience, the sun in Rome, it's quite strong and hot all year around. So no matter which part of the year you're visiting Rome, make sure that you will take that sunscreen with you. If for some reason you forgot one, just the next day go to the local pharmacy, the closest one, and get one for yourself. Even Christmas time, I don't leave the apartment here without having my sun protection. What about saving your money on drinking water in Rome? This water from the fountains in Rome, they called Nazzoni, is perfectly clean and drinkable. The locals drink this water themselves all the time, and also it's not just save your money, because one small bottle of water in Rome is about €1. So can you imagine how much money you will save during a trip? And second, summer months when the temperature in Rome is extremely hot, this water is cold, clean, and it will refresh you the best possible way. I don't think I shared this particular one in any of my videos about Rome, but do you know the exact sounds of Rome, or how Rome usually sounds? This city is beautiful, but quite often it can get really loud, especially if you're staying in Rome city center, in this historic center. Guys, too many sounds. Daytime, we're talking about motorcycles, scooters, helicopters, ambulances, and all these good things. Nighttime are the tourists who like having a little bit late parties and singing. Telling you all the time. So my advice, don't forget your earplugs for the best sleep you can have in Rome. I know it sounds crazy, but yes, in fact, there is a certain dress code in Rome. When you're coming to Italy, I bet one of your locations you would like to visit would be Italian churches. If you didn't know before, there are more than 900 churches just in Rome itself. If you're not dressed appropriately, you will be denied entrance. So what about dress code for Rome and for Roman churches? Your shoulders must be closed for both men and women. Your hat must be removed. Your knees also should be closed. You cannot have any bulky handbag or especially backpack. And of course, you cannot have any food or drinks with you. It's also strictly forbidden. For some major attractions in Rome, like Colosseum, Roman Forum, Vatican Museum, and Sixtine Chapel, your dress code is also important. But what's the most important there is skip the line pass. And especially if you're coming to Rome during high touristy season, I highly recommend you guys to get those skip the line tickets well in advance. It will save you a lot of money and nerve. You cannot imagine how hot it gets in Rome, and especially if you need to stay hours and hours under that excruciating sun without any shadow. Believe my own experience, guys, and always buy those skip the line tickets online and well in advance before your trip to Rome. You don't need all these bulky cameras and other professional filming equipment here in Rome. Guys, just have your phone with you with a good camera, and it's going to be more than enough. Just ditch all those bulky cameras and all the professional advanced filming equipment. You're not gonna need it here. First of all, it's really heavy to carry it around during all these long walks around Rome. You'll be barely using it. And second, it will attract some unnecessary attention of all these scammy, pickpockets and not trusty people. So you really don't need it here. Always be careful with pickpockets operating here. Plenty of them. Rome is one of European capitals. It attracts about 10 million tourists to come to visit this place every single year. Can you imagine? Almost 10 million people coming here. And of course, some dishonest people like pickpockets operating here all over the globe. Just be aware of them. And if you watched my previous videos, two major things: always have your crossbody bag with you, with protected with the zips, all these reliable zips. Never take your passport or your main travel document with you. Have a photocopy of it or just some pictures on your phone. And a backpack. Never put any valuables like a phone or your wallet in a back pocket of your backpack. Don't be afraid. Just be aware. Definitely plan, but never over plan when you're visiting Rome. I totally understand, especially if your first ever time here in Rome and you want to visit all the places, all these famous attractions in 1 or 2 days. Guys, forget about it. Be reasonable, be rational when it comes to planning your attractions around Rome. You will get so much joy, so much pleasure just admiring all the surroundings all around Rome. So please, please, please plan a few places, but don't overplan. And if you have only 3 days here in Rome, okay, 1 day you can definitely visit 1 or 2 major locations, but the rest of the time, just enjoy staying in Rome. Enjoy this atmosphere and get happier here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will not make those 15 mistakes during your next or first ever trip to Rome. My Travel to Rome guide will definitely help you a lot. And for now, stay safe, be happy, as our tradition goes. I will see you next week. Bye for now. Ciao ragazzi. A presto. Bye.